In the December 20th edition of Entertainment Weekly, which featured choices for their top 12 entertainers of the year, Norah was ranked at number 9. In the music section of the magazine, critics placed Come Away With Me at number 10 in their list of the best albums of 2002. Meanwhile, Norah did her bit for charity, performing alongside the likes of Michelle Branch, Joni Mitchell and Stevie Nicks at the annual Stormy Weather Benefit for the Walden Woods Project. The newly revamped Wilton Theatre in Los Angeles hosted the all-female event, with executive producer Don Henley overseeing and selecting the artists. The 64-piece El Nino Orchestra accompanied the vocalists on the night of November the 13th.
It's sort of, by not necessarily planned out from the beginning, but then we realized we had a lot of great songs within the band, and we decided to make the album mostly that.
In February 2003, Norah performed a tribute to U2's Bono at the 13th annual Person of the Year tribute dinner for Music Cares. A range of artists, including Mary J. Blige, No Doubt and Black Rebel Motorcycle Club, played his U2 songs at the evening to honour Bono's musical and humanitarian achievements. At the Marriott Marquis celebration, Norah delivered a stunning version of Stuck in a Moment You Can't Get Out Of. Music Cares was founded in 1989 by the Recording Academy to assist musicians suffering from financial, medical and personal emergencies. On the 23rd of February, Norah's name became a worldwide hot property when she wiped out all her competitors at the Grammy Awards ceremony in New York. She triumphed in every category in which she was nominated, an astonishing 8 gongs. The Grammys' undisputed Golden Girl won Best Album, Best Pop Vocal Album, Best Engineered Album, Non-Classical Record of the Year, Song of the Year, and Best Female Pop Vocal Performance trophies, and also picked up the Best New Artist prize over Avril Lavigne, John Mayer, Ashanti and Michelle Branch. On top of that, Arif Mardin also took home the Producer of the Year Non-Classical Award for Come Away With Me. In accepting her Best New Artist award, she told her group that she loved them so much and that they were the reason she plays music. As she juggled her 8 Grammys at Madison Square Gardens, she thanked her mum, but made no mention of her estranged father, the 82-year-old Shankar. However, he told the Hindustan Times that he was absolutely thrilled by his daughter's success. Norah's success at the Grammys caused more than a few ripples. It precipitated a spike in online activity the following day when Norah clocked up the top 14 downloads on Press Play. The first time a single artist has claimed the entire top of the service's chart. Press Play also reported that Norah saw a 400% increase in streaming consumption of the track Don't Know Why. The multiple Grammy win also had a massive knock-on effect on sales of the Come Away With Me album. It sold more than 621,000 copies in the week following the awards show, according to SoundScan figures released on March the 5th. The weekly sales increase of nearly 500,000 copies easily placed the singer from number 3 to number 1 on the ensuing Billboard 200 Albums chart. Come Away With Me hit the 6 million worldwide sales mark soon afterwards. Meanwhile, Norah continued to promote her album, completing her debut tour of Australia and New Zealand. She announced a major summer tour of the US, kicking off in Fort Myers, Florida on June the 6th. The 45 dates are scheduled to run through until August the 15th in Morrison, Colorado. They will take in Nashville, Toronto, Kansas City, Houston, LA, New York and Philadelphia. New bluegrass star Gillian Welch is booked to open the opening shows in June, while Richard Julian is penciled in for the July and August dates. On Tuesday, February the 25th, 2003, Blue Note released the 67-minute DVD Norah Jones Live in New Orleans. The disc, shot at the House of Blues on August the 24th, 2002, featured 5 non-album tracks as well as the music video for Come Away With Me. The new cuts included a Norah original, What Am I to You?, Something Is Calling You by Jesse Harris, and 3 covers, Bessie Smith by the band, Tennessee Waltz by Red Stewart and Pee Wee King, and Comes Love by Lou Brown, Sam Stept and Charles Tobias. On the 14th of April, Norah's next release was unveiled to a public now hungry for anything Norah-related. She made 2 appearances on an album by Joel Harrison called Free Country, having cut the tracks in sessions early in 2002, when she was still an unknown singer-songwriter on the downtown New York scene. Norah sang Johnny Cash's I Walk the Line and Tennessee Waltz, both in the mellow jazz meets country style of Come Away With Me. Her delivery of I Walk the Line is magnificent, evoking the best work of Patsy Cline, whilst her take on Tennessee Waltz is equally outstanding. Taken at snail's pace, with the pump organ of Tony Cedras providing a melancholy, languid air to proceedings, this version creates a hazy, inebriated, dreamy spell on the listener. Norah's yearning voice is framed perfectly by the cafe orchestra-style arrangement, and beautifully complements Harrison's pedal steel guitar picking.
I don't really have my finger on the pulse of what's going on. I like Ryan Adams' Heartbreaker album a lot. I like the songs on that a lot. Other than that, I don't know. Alison Krauss's new record is great, and I love the songs on there, but I don't know who wrote them all. I know she didn't. I know some of her band members wrote certain songs, but I'm not sure who the other songs are from or how old they are.
The world is awash with Norah Jones music. But what about the personality and character that lies behind these gorgeous songs? What is it that drives this gifted talent? She mostly dates drummers and has confessed she fancies John Bon Jovi. She has allegedly smoked cannabis, but it made her feel sick. When she cooks, she gives it her full attention and total care. Her pet peeves are the subject of her father and watching television with someone else in the room who's asleep. She says she doesn't like discussing her famous dad because she's never really known him, and he has had nothing whatsoever to do with her music or her life. Recently, whilst performing on a Dutch chat show, she warned the host not to mention her father when announcing her onto the programme. And he did, which upset Norah, who is quoted as saying she almost felt like walking off the show. This anger can manifest itself in other contexts. For example, despite having sung Britney Spears covers herself as a young teenager, when it comes to her fellow starlets, Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera, Norah is known not to mince her words. When Britney broke through onto the scene, Norah was disgusted, believing that certain pictures of the 15-year-old Britney were actually pornographic. She has since branded Britney a slut, explaining that she could never dress in such a way. She doesn't even want to bare her midriff, let alone wear a pair of chaps like Christina Aguilera. She makes a distinction between looking sexy and looking slutty. Although obviously overwhelmed by her success and acclaim, she can be less than sanguine about the pressures and politics of the music industry. When she first joined Blue Note, she worried that hardcore jazz purists would label her as watered down or lightweight, but at the same time, she didn't want to sign to a pop label. This was because she saw herself as a serious artist and not as a commercial puppet. She didn't want to make videos and do vacuous promotion on television, nor did she want to be put under the pressure of being expected to shift millions of records. However, Blue Note have twisted her arm on a few occasions, persuading her to do publicity against her wishes. For example, she did a promo video for Don't Know Why, which originally she hadn't even wanted to appear in. And with the increased profile of their product, the label has upped the ante and demanded more and bigger, better videos. Norah understands the tension between wanting to be seen as a serious musician and the necessity of promoting yourself and attracting as many people as you can. Though she is sick of the publicity surrounding the Grammys, it has provided a vehicle for her music, which is now listened to by more punters than she'd ever dreamed of. So she has to shrug her shoulders and accept that the good bits are more than compensation for the irritating, irrelevant aspects of the music business. Norah stands in defiance of contemporary musical trends, claiming to be inspired only by the music of yesteryear. She was a jazz nerd in high school who studied the glistening piano improvisation of Bill Evans and devoured her mum's Aretha Franklin, Ray Charles and Billie Holiday records. Her idols are those singers who couldn't possibly be mistaken for anyone else: Aretha, Etta James, Nina Simone, Joni Mitchell and Stevie Wonder. She claims old music digs into her soul much more than anything modern, and the only contemporary singers she admires and respects are Alicia Keys, Gillian Welch and Alison Krauss. Among her most treasured records are These Arms of Mine by Otis Redding, Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain by Willie Nelson, Hallelujah by Jeff Buckley, Crowded House's Don't Dream It's Over, and Billie Holiday's These Foolish Things. These Arms of Mine is the opening cut on the Best of Otis tape, which had been on permanent rotation in her first car stereo during the summer preceding her senior year at high school. Buckley's incandescent version of Leonard Cohen's Hallelujah stoned Norah's soul the first time she heard it, and continues to haunt her. She used to put the track on repeat on her CD player and listen to it over and over again for hours on end. Her mother Sue clearly instilled a musical curiosity in her child from a very early age, and Norah's exposure to a wealth of enriching evergreen music from the past, country, R&B, soul, blues and jazz, from a stage at which most children have yet to develop the mental tools to assimilate music, has clearly been a massive influence. Musically, one can detect discernible influences of Carole King, Nina Simone and Joni Mitchell, both in the piano sound and her mellifluous singing style. Norah is self-aware, strident in her views, and oozes the confidence of someone who is in total control of her destiny. Music pours out of her and makes her happy to be alive. She wants to make music her life, and has already made great strides forward in achieving this honourable aim.
I really have no idea until we get there. I just want to make a good album, so whatever it ends up being. I'd like to write some more songs, but I don't know if I'm ever going to have time.
Norah Jones has carved out a reputation as one of modern music's most extravagantly gifted artists, a rarefied jewel in Blue Note's crown. Her standing as a brilliant singer, pianist, arranger and songwriter is assured on the strength of the magnificent Come Away With Me alone. But despite massive success at such a tender age, her ambitions still burn and burn, and she must be looking to consolidate her already iconoclastic standing. A single classic album is more than most musicians ever stumble upon, but one gets the impression that Norah is far from satisfied. Whilst world domination a la Madonna is hardly on the agenda, she is anti-pop and famously dismissive of the whole plastic, manufactured pop process. Norah knows she must come up with the goods next time if she's to lay down strong career roots. She's hungry for the next thing, but is equally aware that she's under a certain amount of pressure to deliver. An interesting issue is the one concerning her next direction. Does she play it safe and churn out another mild variation on the same formula, albeit one that served her so well thus far? Given the unprecedented success of Come Away With Me, it would perhaps be churlish to quibble with a Come Away With Me Volume 2, more of the same but dressed in slightly different clothes. Norah's audience straddles the generations, so a radical shift in direction could conceivably serve to alienate one or two sections of her fan base. A record company like Blue Note, who can hardly believe their luck at signing someone with Norah's widespread appeal, are probably crossing their fingers and praying that Norah's next choice is to continue on the same route. This might make perfect sound business sense for Blue Note, and would probably even satiate the majority of her fans. But would it be right for Norah the artist? Objectively, one welcome development would surely be less of a reliance on covers and input from collaborators. Norah has exhibited astute taste and judgment in her choice of materials so far, but surely needs to develop her own songwriting. Come Away With Me and Nightingale are faultless gems, and The Long Day Is Over is a mesmerising collaboration. But a whole album of Norah Jones compositions would stretch her and give the listener a more rounded picture of her talents. At the moment, Norah is seen as a wonderful vocalist of the highest order and a more than competent jazz pianist who happens to write the odd song, exquisite though they are. Perhaps she's content to be seen as more of a song stylist, a la Eva Cassidy, than an out-and-out singer-songwriter. Maybe she has a whole stack of self-composed material waiting to be unleashed upon the world and to blow us away. Not that we're expecting Norah to suddenly abandon her values and jump on a drum and bass or garage bandwagon, but it would be interesting to see if she can evade the stylistic straitjacket and explore a host of new avenues, as well as including more self-penned compositions. It seems likely that her music will continue to be rooted in the jazz ballad idiom, but perhaps with an increasing experimental intertwining of different flavours. In the meantime, a possible sideline as a jazz instrumentalist and/or guest vocalist could further help expand her repertoire. One can easily imagine Norah branching out as a jazz pianist in her own right, or equally successfully cropping up as a featured vocalist on other artists' work. In fact, one licks the lips in anticipation of hearing those golden tones serenading the listener over, say, a Groove Armada backing track or a Kenny Dope house beat. The possibilities are in fact endless. Modern music's love of unlikely juxtapositions, one thinks of the KLF's dalliances with Tammy Wynette and Beth Orton's work with the Chemical Brothers, certainly invite such a possibility. For the time being though, we must be content that we have Norah in any shape, form or guise at all, since her facility for lifting our spirits through the power of song is truly transcendent. Difficult second album syndrome or not, this is one amazing woman whose voice has captivated a planet.
Thank you for buying Maximum Norah Jones. We hope you enjoyed it. Watch out for further titles on Chrome Dreams coming up soon. If you did enjoy it or have any comments or suggestions, write to us at Chrome Dreams, PO Box 230, New Malden, Surrey, UK, KT3 6YY, or email us on mail@chromedreams.co.uk. Details of our full catalogue are listed on our website at www.chromedreams.co.uk. Thanks again for listening and goodbye for now.